The richest man defies the most powerful. Tax cuts fuel fiscal fury. Deficit soars and debt threatens to crush. How will this feud impact America? Hello and welcome to Explained by NewsX. Today, we examine a major confrontation that could reshape US fiscal policy and fracture political alliances. Yes, I'm referring to Donald Trump versus Elon Musk. Now, at the center of this conflict is a sweeping new spending proposal from President Trump known as the One Big Beautiful Bill. It bundles tax cuts, infrastructure spending, and border security initiatives into a single piece of legislation while raising the US debt ceiling by $5 trillion. But it has ignited sharp opposition, including from one of Trump's allies, Elon Musk. The billionaire entrepreneur has launched a public campaign against the bill, calling it fiscally irresponsible and warning of a looming debt crisis. Now let's unpack the key elements of this clash and what it could mean for America's economic future. Unveiled in January 2025, Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill is a 1,000-page legislative package that seeks to fulfill multiple campaign promises at once. It makes Trump's 2017 tax cuts permanent, particularly provisions like no federal tax on tips, and introduces new tax breaks set to expire in 2028, just as Trump would complete a second term. Now, according to the non-partisan Congressional Budget Office, the bill could increase federal deficits by $3.1 trillion over the next decade, or $5.1 trillion if all cuts are extended. It also includes deep cuts to programs like Medicaid, estimated at $698 billion, which could result in nearly 11 million additional uninsured Americans by 2034. While the White House argues that these measures will boost growth and job creations, critics have warned that the fiscal impact could be severe, especially with the US national debt already surpassing $36 trillion. Elon Musk, in particular, who previously headed Trump's now defunct Department of Government Efficiency, has taken a firm stance against the bill. In public statements and posts on X, Musk has called it a debt slavery bill and has accused the administration of rushing it through the Congress without adequate debate. Musk's primary concern is the long-term fiscal sustainability of the United States of America. He argues that ballooning deficits could undermine government programs, raise borrowing costs, and increase reliance on foreign lenders. His estimates suggest that the annual deficit could reach $2.5 trillion, with debt servicing costs consuming up to 25% of federal reserves and revenues by 2030. Musk's critique has found support amongst fiscal conservatives senators. Now, at its core, this is a conflict between supply-side economics, Trump's belief that tax cuts will simulate growth, and fiscal restraint on the other hand, which is Musk's insistence on reducing government spending and debt. Now, the bill's critics cite historical evidence suggesting that large tax cuts often lead to short-term boosts followed by long-term deficits. Critics assert that cuts to healthcare and social safety nets risk increasing inequality and economic insecurity. Trump, however, remains confident. He has publicly challenged Musk's claims, asserting that the entrepreneur was fully briefed on the bill and approved its framework. This assertion has been denied by Musk. Now, complicating matters further are provisions reportedly inserted late in the process, including AI regulation rollbacks and tariff hikes on certain foreign imports. These issues have drawn criticism even from some of Trump's allies, including Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. With Musk having donated over $250 million to the Republican campaigns in 2024, his opposition carries significant weight. But it has also drawn severe backlash. Trump loyalists accuse Musk of undermining the president's agenda, and the administration has floated the possibility of revisiting Musk-related federal contracts, including the $20.9 billion contracts for SpaceX and Tesla subsidies. This political tension has also spilled over to social media. However, the broader question remains, should an unelected billionaire have this much sway over national policy? The bill itself has cleared an important hurdle. It was passed by the US Senate after a dramatic late-night vote which saw J.D. Vance present to break a potential tie. It was cleared by a narrow margin as Republicans push to deliver the legislation before the 4th of July, which is the deadline that has been set by Trump. It now faces scrutiny at the House of Representatives. At stake is more than just a single piece of legislation. This is a broader test of the GOP's identity. Trump's camp promotes bold fiscal stimulus and deregulation. Musk and his supporters push for limited government and fiscal discipline. If the bill passes, it could cement Trump's second term's legacy. And if it fails, Musk's vision emphasizing lean government and sustainable spending could gain new traction. This is not just a legislative fight. It is a philosophical divide over America's economic future. Whether Trump's vision for growth prevails or Musk's warnings prompt a fiscal course correction, one thing is clear. America stands at a critical economic crossroad. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more on NewsX.